Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome if you're new. I'm Cheryl, this table full of joy, and friends, happy Vlogmas. We are on day 15. I cannot believe this month is already going by so quick. Can't believe it, friends. Christmas is almost here. It's going by so quickly. But tonight, friends, I'm excited. I'm doing a charcuterie board for our pastor and his wife. They're hosting their annual staff Christmas party at their home tonight, and my pastor's wife reached out to me and asked me if I would make another charcuterie board. I'm excited to do this again, doing something completely different that I haven't done before. So I went and picked up a few little things to go on my charcuterie board. I'll share that with you guys when we start assembling it. But we're doing a brie in the middle of the board with a orange marmalade and some candied walnuts. And I am excited about that. I have not done this before. So we're gonna get our walnuts cooking over on the stove real quick. They need to cook for about 5 minutes, and then they need to completely cool. So while the walnuts are cooling, I can move on. I was starting to assemble the board, getting things put on the board, getting cheese cut up, all those kinds of things. So I thought I would bring you guys along with me again this year as we do a fun and delicious board this year, something completely different. And yeah, maybe you guys will learn a thing or two about putting boards together. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do this time of year, is to put out a beautiful board of food for people just to kind of graze on and nibble as they visit and chat and just whatever. It's just a relaxing way to start off a party. So let's get these walnuts in the pan. All right, so I have a half a cup of sugar. We're gonna put that in our pan. A little bit of water in there still. I just washed it. So we've got 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. We're gonna say that's about 2 tablespoons, pretty close. We need 2 cups of our walnuts. If you are not a walnut fan, you can use pecans for this instead. I'm just gonna use walnuts because that's what I have. And you want whole walnuts. You don't want pieces. I mean, it's fine if there's a few pieces in there, but you want whole, beautiful walnuts. All right, so there's our 2 cups. We're gonna put in just a dash of salt, just a pinch, because we wanna really balance out that sugar. We're gonna turn this on to a medium-high heat, and we're gonna cook this for about 5 minutes in our pan. We're gonna let all of our sugar dissolve, our butter melt, get all of this coated all over these walnuts, and then when the walnuts are done and they're nice and sticky, I've got a sheet pan over here with some parchment paper on it. These are gonna be absolutely fantastic on top of that brie with some orange marmalade that we're gonna dilute down just a tiny bit. I just think this is gonna be a stunning piece right in the middle of our board. It's gonna be the focal point. You always want a focal point when you're doing a charcuterie. You want something that draws your eye to the board. I'm also gonna add just a dash of cinnamon. You can see that they're starting to kind of get a little bit darker color. Our sugar and water and butter mixture is starting to thicken up a little bit. So we're gonna let this cook until all of our liquid is absorbed and our walnuts are beautiful and coated with all of this sugar and butter. All right, friends, I think our walnuts are ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and dump these on our parchment paper. Turn off my heat. So we need to let these completely cool before we try to work with them or put them on our brie. So I'm just gonna kind of spread them out a little bit. They smell incredible. Oh my word, friends. They smell so good. So I'm just gonna, while they're still hot, I'm gonna spread them out a little bit so they have a little bit of room. I'm fine with a few clumps here and there. All right, and there's our candied walnuts that are gonna go on top of our brie with our orange marmalade. All right, friends, so we're gonna put our board together. I've got lots of different little things here. I have these cute little wooden skewers that we're gonna put on our cheese once we get our cheese on our board. I have different things, these little wooden bowls. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I needed something on this charcuterie board for when I do things that will roll like the olives. So we're gonna put, I drained these. Looks like there still might be a little bit of juice in there. But charcuterie boards are all about blocks of color. You don't want this to look like a big mess. You want this to look like you put some thought into putting the board together, thinking about textures, colors, flavors. So we're gonna get as many as we can in this little bowl. I'm gonna wrap this entire board in saran wrap to deliver it. So we used up quite a few of those, and those are fine. This was another fun olive that I found at Trader Joe's. These are a lemon flavored or lemon stuffed olive. My husband tasted them, said they're really good. I was just telling him that's what I love about Trader Joe's, is they have so many fun things that I never would have thought to try. So I have plenty of these little sticks, and because these are something new that I don't think people have tried yet, I'm going to use a couple of those skewers and stick them in the little bowls, just so that I can let people know what things are, in case they're wondering what they're eating. Charcuterie boards, it's kind of hard sometimes to let everybody know what you have on the board. They really packed these olives in there. All right, there we go. Okay. I know I'm not gonna get them all in here, but I wanna get as many as I can. Like I said, it's all about blocks of color. I got some fresh rosemary, and we put that on our board that has our brie cheese on it. We got our walnuts all cooked, and those are over there on the counter. Those are chilling out over there, just getting nice and cooled. And then we will take those. We're gonna put our heated orange marmalade right on our cheese, and then put that. So I want, like I said, I want blocks of color on each side of my board. My other things that I'm going to put in these bowls, I have some, I had never seen these before. Hubby actually just tasted these as well. They're a picante pepper that is stuffed with a soft creamy cheese filling. And he said they were really, really good. I don't want a whole lot of this oil though. So I have a piece of paper towel right here, and I'm actually going to kind of just blot these on the paper towel before I put them in these bowls, because they are packed in an oil, and I don't want all of that oil in those bowls. So we're just going to get some of that oil off, not all of it. A little bit of the oil is fine. Anytime you're putting anything on a charcuterie board that has a lot of oil, you want to blot it a little bit with a paper towel, just so you don't end up with a ton of oil on your board, or if you're using little bowls or anything like that. All right, so I'm going to be able to get all of these, I think. All right, so I'm just going to put these in here. You want to arrange these kind of pretty in this little bowl right here. Try to position them in here so that people can see that they have that cheese inside, so they know this is a stuffed pepper. Those are just going to give us a really beautiful pop of red color. All right, so there's those. We're going to set those back there. All right, so I have another piece of paper towel so I can blot my artichokes and put those in our other little bowl we have right here. We've got 4 little bowls. These are a grilled artichoke. And I'm gonna just try to blot them just a little bit, and then I'll put them in the bowl. I'm not super worried about these being completely dry. I just don't want all of this liquid in there. I don't want to overfill them, but I think that is going to be plenty of artichokes. All right, so then like I said before, we're working in blocks of color. So I have my Gouda. I already went ahead and diced this up just because I was waiting. So I went ahead and diced the Gouda. And the Gouda, we're not going to do this in lines or anything like that. We're just going to do them in really rustic, beautiful little piles. And then I will take the stick and I'll put it in one of these pieces of cheese in the back, and just so they know what kind of cheese this is. So our Gouda is right here. So we're just gonna take our little stick and we're just gonna put that right in that cheese right there so they know that that is a Gouda cheese. I have a Kerrygold cheddar that I'm gonna do right now. And I'm just gonna do this the same that I did the other one. Just gonna cut a chunk off of this and we're gonna use it and cut it up into blocks just like we did our Gouda. You want good quality things, and that's why my favorite place to get things for charcuterie boards is Trader Joe's. You can get beautiful cheeses, veggies, all kinds of, you know, like I was showing you those peppers that I've never seen before, the lemon stuffed olives I've never seen before. All of those kinds of things are things that I would not normally be able to get at my regular grocery store. All right, let's see how much cheddar this gives us. We're gonna do our cheddar back here. So this is a balsamic glaze that I got there. That's gonna go for our little caprese skewers that we're gonna do. And I think I'm gonna do just a little bit more. I'm gonna lay that one down because when I put the saran wrap on this to haul it, I'm not gonna be able to have those skewers standing up. So I'm gonna do just one more stick of this beautiful Kerrygold Irish cheddar and do these back here, just like that. We've got our cheddar. I'm gonna put that right there. That's our brie. I will unwrap that here soon. Then I've got some cucumbers. Cucumbers are something you can use for filler, and we can do some beautiful little lines of cucumbers, just like that, in different areas of your board. Just to add a little bit of interest, add something different. People love to just nibble on cucumbers. So I've got enough cucumbers to do probably 3 different blocks of cucumbers on our board. Just like that. Okay, there's our cucumbers. Got our brie. Okay, let's go ahead and do our mozzarella skewers. I got these beautiful tomatoes at Trader Joe's. And I'm using a marinated mozzarella ball instead of just the plain mozzarella ball. I think these have a little bit more flavor. They add a little bit more interest to it. Don't want to forget my little charcuterie tools. So we've got our fresh basil, our fresh mozzarella balls. And again, I want to blot these on a paper towel just because they are packed in oil. And I don't want all of that oil on my charcuterie board. So I've just got some more paper towel directly on this paper towel so that they can start kind of getting rid of some of that oil that's on them. But I don't want to have huge pieces of basil because these are not really big mozzarella balls or tomatoes. So we're going to look for a smaller piece of basil. We're gonna skewer our tomato. We're gonna put our basil on here. And then we're gonna take a mozzarella ball, and just like that. And we're gonna set these over here on our board in a beautiful pattern. I'm just gonna get the rest of these done. I've got 3 different colors of tomatoes, orange, yellow, and red. So we'll try to do an even number of all of these things. All right, so I have 3 kinds of meat to put on our board. We've got some peppered salami, we have some regular salami, and we've got some prosciutto wrapped mozzarella sticks. So I'm going to start with the prosciutto wrapped mozzarella sticks first. And these are something that I think, because they're kind of a stick, I can kind of just fill them in on the board wherever. I'm not going to do these in a block. So I think I'll do like 2 right here. And I'll do 2 right here. They give you an odd number. I wish they gave you an even number, but they don't, but that's okay. So we're just gonna do these last ones over here. We'll just kind of tuck those in right there, and those will be perfect. All right, now I've got our salami, so we're gonna put some of our salami on here, and then I just have a few things that I'm gonna fill in the board with. And for my sausage, I don't wanna lay it on the board like this. I'm gonna take my sausage, I'm gonna fold them, and I'm gonna do that with them. And we're just gonna use these on the board folded. I think it makes it easier for people to pick them up when you don't put them on the board folded out straight like that. When they're flat, it makes it really hard to grab a piece. And we want people to be able to grab things nice and easy off of the board. So we're gonna fold them, that way they can grab them with the tongs. I've seen lots of things, and I've done them before, the roses with the salami. I think those are beautiful, but they're not functional. They just don't work when you're doing a charcuterie board, because nobody wants to be the first one to ruin the rose. And so I did them last year for the charcuterie board that I did for our Christmas Eve service for our green room, and they nobody wanted to be the first one to get the meat out. So it just, to me, they're just not very functional. So I just choose to just fold them and do them in nice little groups all over the board. That way people can feel like they can just grab a little piece of salami and not feel like they're destroying the decoration. I'm one of these people that I want everything that I put out to be inviting. I want people to feel like they can, you know, grab it and eat and not have to feel like they're ruining something. So I'm gonna do my crackers and stuff on a separate board, because I like to fill my board up nice and full with all kinds of delicious food. So I'm not going to do my crackers on this. I'm going to get a separate board out and do all of my crackers that way. I'm also going to do all of my plain salami on one side of the board and the peppered salami on the other. That way, because if there's people that are sensitive to that heat from the pepper, that way they're not feeling like they're, you know, eating something that's been touching something with a lot of pepper. I know we do have some people on our staff at church that are a little bit sensitive to heat. And so that's why I kind of think it's better if I just put the peppered stuff on the opposite side of the board. We're just using our salami to just kind of fill in. I think it looks really pretty having these little clumps of salami and having them folded like this, just kind of tucking them in, using them to fill. We're gonna do a few nuts on the board, and I'm gonna put them in areas where they're gonna be held in place and they're not gonna be they're not gonna fall off the board. I've also got some grapes that I'm gonna put on here in a minute. I think having a little bit of fresh fruit on a charcuterie board is a great idea. I almost think that these look like little flowers, kind of. Charcuterie boards are a little bit time consuming, but I love doing them. I think they are so fun. They just give me an excuse to play with my food, but they also give my guests something super beautiful to look at. You really get to kind of be an artist when you are doing a charcuterie board. All right, so now I have my peppered one. Probably not gonna put as much of the peppered salami on because I don't think that there's gonna be as many people that want the peppered salami as there will be people that want the non-peppered salami. And then we've just got a lot of fillers that we're gonna do. That's the other part of having lots and lots of things on your charcuterie board, is being able to just fill things in. All right, so I'm gonna do my peppered salami over on this side of my board in this area over here. We're gonna do the same thing that we just did with the other side. We're just gonna fold these and just tuck them in, let them kind of fill in these big spaces over here. Sometimes it's hard getting them to stay in place. You kind of just have to use the other ones to kind of hold them down. Just use your other ones, kind of just tuck them underneath things. Do a little bit more on this side right here, and I'm gonna do a few on the other side over there by that Gouda. And I think that's gonna be it for the peppered salami. Okay, I'm gonna turn the board another, maybe a quarter of a turn. So this I'm just gonna bring with me and let Hosanna know that they can use that on their mozzarella balls if they choose to. All right, so we have our, I'm gonna do my cucumbers over here. We're gonna do a little bit of peppered salami right on this other side. I might do, we'll see. I wanna see what this looks like first. Because I've got lots of things to fill in with stuff, so I don't need. They're having dinner, so this is basically just a grazing board. They are just going to use this to snack as people are coming, getting there to the party. This just gives them some food to put out with sparkling cider and water and all the things. I love to use nuts and grapes as fillers on my charcuterie boards. I just think it gives them a little bit of freshness to the board. So I've got some areas where I'm going to do some big clumps of these holiday grapes that I found. I will probably do my bread over in this area for the brie cheese, and then just use another board to do just the crackers themselves. They definitely take a little bit of time to do, but you know what? Put on a holiday movie and get the stuff out, sit down at the table and just have fun playing with the board. figuring out what you like, what goes where, what you want to do where on the board. It just is, they're just so fun to do. I'm gonna have to get a bread knife in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and do some grapes now. I'm gonna try to tuck our stems under so that we're not seeing those. People don't tend to eat a ton of the grapes, but I do like to have them on the board for that little bit of freshness. They give us a little bit of height. So I'm just gonna do one clump right here. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of our baguette. That's we're gonna go over there on the other side of our board. I'm not toasting it. I'm just using it nice and soft and fresh, but I do want to slice it on the bias so we end up with a much whiter surface for putting our brie on there. Let's see how much we have cut and if we need to do any more. Like I said, we're just going to do a nice pile right over on this side of the board, close to our brie cheese, so people know that they can help themselves. They can grab a piece of bread, they can put a little bit of brie on it. Looks like we can go a couple more slices. Let's see how this looks right here. We can go maybe 2 more. All right, so a couple more pieces. Like I said, nice height all the way around. This just looks beautiful. All right, so I have a couple more little things I want to put on here. I grabbed some dark chocolate pistachios. We're gonna put clumps of these. We're just gonna put little piles all over the board. And that way people can just kind of grab a couple if they want to. We don't want, this is not a sweets board, but you do want something on there that adds a little bit of sweetness to things. So just some different areas along the board. Just put some little piles of our dark chocolate pistachios in there. I'm gonna do another little pile right next to this cheese right here. It just adds a different color. I think it looks beautiful. All right, so now we're gonna do our brie. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of our package. This is always the fun part, trying to get it out of the plastic. Okay, so there's our brie. I'm gonna put that on there. And you can tell it's room temperature because you can squeeze it and it kind of comes out a little bit. So I'm gonna heat up a little bit of orange marmalade in the microwave just to kind of soften it and thin it out. All right, friends, that charcuterie board turned out beautiful. Everybody loved it. I'm just now getting around to filming the end of this because I didn't put the charcuterie board the rest of the way together, like putting the orange marmalade and stuff on top of the brie until I got to my pastor's house, because I didn't really want that stuff sloshing all over, dripping all over everything on the board and just making a huge mess. So it actually worked out better for me to just bring all of that stuff with me to her house and put all that stuff on there when I got there. It was beautiful. Everybody loved it. I saw everybody at church on Sunday and they were all raving about all of the different things that were on the board. So many different things that they'd never tried before. I'd never tried them before because they were new to me at Trader Joe's. So just goes to show you, friends, get out, find some fun stores to look for fun things to put on charcuterie boards. Find some exciting things to treat your friends and your family to this holiday season if you're gonna do a charcuterie board. I hope the tips that I gave you while I was making mine helped you guys. And friends, Christmas is almost here and I have a lot to do still. So we're gonna get back to doing videos. We've got a lot of videos still to do, a lot of things to share with you guys, and I hope you guys will join me in that. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there. It would mean so much to me to have you a part of my YouTube family. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload so you don't miss out on anything. We do surprise live videos every now and then, so you want to make sure that you're subscribed and that you have those notifications turned on to all so that you don't miss anything. And friends, I hope you guys are having a happy holiday season. You're getting ready for a Merry Christmas with your family and friends. And friends, we will talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day and God bless. Bye.